this video, we're going to look at setting up a CAD file in 2D design for laser cutting. We're then going to export it to RDWorks and then run the laser cutter and laser cut the file. So the first thing I need to do is tessellate my design because I'm going to have 4 versions of this wheel. So it's easier to do this in 2D design. So I'm going to set it up here. And that way I will maximize my material and waste less. Then I need to go to File and Export. I need to change this file type to a DXF file. Okay, so in here it's one of the middle ones that says DXF files. I'm going to call it wheels. And I've already got a file there, so I'll just override that one. Okay, and now I need to open up RDWorks. So I'm just going to type in RD in the menu and open up RDWorks. So this is the bed of the laser cutter that we can see on the screen here, and I want to import that DXF file by clicking on this little picture with the green arrow pointing down. And there's my wheel drawing. Open that, bring that in. So that's my file there on the bed, and the green square there is my origin point, which we're going to set up on the laser cutter in a minute. But before we do that, we're going to check the laser settings. So if I double click on this black rectangle under the layer menu in the top right. So this is set up for 3mm MDF, which we're going to laser cut for these wheels. So speed's 15, minimum power 70, max power 75, and that'll work well for 3mm MDF on our laser cutter. I'm going to turn the laser cutter on now because I'm going to send the file to the laser cutter. So now the machine's on, I can click on the download button in the bottom right hand corner. I have to be patient here because the computer has to do a little bit of thinking. And shortly a window will pop up asking me to give the file a name. When it does that, I'll give it a really short, simple name. It doesn't like any fancy characters, so DM1. Okay. Download file success. So that file should now be sitting on the laser cutter waiting for me to set up the machine. Okay, so that file's now sent to the laser cutter. I'm going to go over to the machine. I'm going to check my piece of material that I'm going to laser cut. So those wheels should fit here on the material. So I'm just going to set the laser cutter up to cut it here. I've got these arrow keys here to move the laser head around. So if I go right, moves to the right, left, moves to the left. Okay. Now I want to set it up so we've got an origin here, which means my laser cutting will land around about here. And the origin is shown on the RDWorks file by that green square there. So it's the top right hand corner on this setup. So I'm going to set the origin is here. So on the panel, there's a button here that says origin, press that. Okay. Now I'm going to find my file. So press the file key, go to the list, find the one that says DM1, enter. And that's my file there, the one I've sent. Now I'm going to press the frame button, and that's going to show me where the laser cutter will land when it cuts. So that fits on the material perfectly. And you'll notice here, I've got 2 red dots at the minute. We need to fix that. If you've got 1 red dot, then it's fine, it's focused. But we need to adjust the bed so it's at the right height. So when the laser hits the material, it's at the hottest point it can be. So to change the height of the bed, we press the Z key here, and then we press left or right to move it up or down. You see, we're aiming to turn those 2 dots into 1. Go. So that's perfect. I'll press escape. Probably won't have to do that, but let's have a look again now. Press frame. It's landing in the right place. So we just shut the door now so it's airtight and we don't need any smoke in the room. Press the start button and it starts to cut. We're good to go. Okay, so the machine's just finished cutting. As you can see, there's quite a lot of smoke around inside there, so we need to let the smoke clear before I open the door. We don't want that in the room, it needs to go out the extraction. So once the smoke's cleared, I can open the door and take my wheels out, and they're good to go. Somebody else can use the machine after me.